Join me as I dive into an intense challenge to see if I can truly feel God's presence while I pray for 24 hours straight. Prayer is a fundamental aspect of many religions, a way for humans to connect with a higher power, to ask for guidance, comfort, and strength. It's a universal language that transcends cultures and faiths, a way to express gratitude, hope, and even desperation. But have you ever stopped to think, does God really listen to our prayers? There are times when we feel like our prayers are falling on deaf ears, when we're met with silence, or worse, with rejection. It's a frustrating feeling, a sense of desperation that can lead to doubt and disillusionment. We pray for a loved one's health, for a miracle, for a solution to a problem, but it seems like our words are lost in the void. We begin to wonder, is anyone even listening? I'm sure many of you have experienced this feeling, this sense of helplessness that can be overwhelming. You've poured your heart out to God, you've begged, you pleaded, but the answer seems to be nowhere in sight. It's a painful feeling, one that can shake your faith to its core. You start to question, is prayer even worth it? Sometimes. The only response to our prayers seems to be the echo of our own voices, bouncing off the walls of our empty rooms. It's a lonely feeling, a feeling that can drive us to the brink of despair. But still, we hold on to hope, we hold on to faith, because it's all we have left. Let's explore this idea further, shall we? Let's dive into the different perspectives on prayer. In many religious teachings, prayer is seen as a direct line to God, a way to tap into His infinite wisdom and power. But what about when our prayers don't get answered? Does that mean God is not listening, or is it simply a matter of timing? Perhaps our prayers are being answered, but not in the way we expect. Personally, I've seen the power of prayer in my own life, the way it can bring comfort, peace, and clarity. But I've also seen times when prayer seems to fall flat, when it feels like I'm just talking to myself. I've wondered if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm not praying hard enough, or if I'm not praying in the right way. I've questioned whether prayer is just a psychological crutch, a way to cope with the uncertainty of life. But then I hear stories of people who have experienced the power of prayer firsthand, who have felt the presence of God in a tangible way. I think of a friend who was going through a tough time, who felt lost and alone, but who found comfort in prayer. I think of the countless stories of miracle healings, of prayers answered in unexpected ways. It makes me wonder, is there something more to prayer than just our own hopes and fears? One story that has always stuck with me is that of a young mother who was diagnosed with a terminal illness. She prayed for healing. She prayed for a miracle, and against all odds, she was cured. It was a moment of pure faith, a moment that showed her that God was indeed listening. It's stories like these that give us hope, that remind us that prayer is not just a one-way conversation, but a dynamic, living, breathing connection with the divine. So where does that leave us? Does God really listen to our prayers? The answer, I think, is complex, multifaceted, and deeply personal. While experiences may vary, many people find comfort and strength in their faith and prayers. It's not about getting what we want. It's not about getting what we expect, but about connecting with something greater than ourselves. Thanks for joining me on this journey of exploration. If you have your own experiences with prayer, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more content on faith and spirituality. Don't forget to check out my next video, where I explore the power of gratitude in our daily lives.